Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another full face dive into some new makeup, and today we're doing all drugstore, all affordable makeup. In a recent vlog I mentioned that I picked up a few new things from the drugstore. There's a few other exciting things that I can't yet get my hands on as a Canadian, but like, hello Maybelline Tinted Moisturizer, like get on my face. We'll just have to try that at a later date. But there's a ton of new things that I picked up, and then I also got this giant box in PR from e.l.f. So there's a lot of e.l.f. here, but then some very exciting colorful things for spring, some new eye products and primers. We're just gonna do a full face of drugstore here today, play with some makeup, guys, and see how she looks at the end. So if you like these full face videos, please do give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me. And if there are any other brands that you want me to do a full face review of, please let me know in the comments down below. Or if you have any other looks that you want me to recreate in particular, holler at me in the comments, send me a message on Instagram. I'm at Alanorama. I'm gonna zoom you in and let's put some makeup on this face. Let us begin with the base. So I have two new primers that I picked up from Milani. We've got the Chill Out and the Skin Quench. So we've got a soothing primer and a hydrating primer. It says new and improved formula of the Skin Quenched primer. So I kind of want to try that. Oh, sorry. I thought I opened everything before I started filming. Yeah, I definitely want to have a nice hydrated base before we, it doesn't have the nicest smell. Hyaluronic acid and coconut water, huh? I need to go back to school to become a chemist so that when I look at these ingredient lists, it makes sense to me, but it smells like not nice. It doesn't have a nice smell, that's for sure. But it's also not overly scented, so it doesn't make my eyes water, which is great. It feels really, really thick, really juicy. So I'm just gonna press that around my mouth. Or I'm so dry. Just right here. Give the skin a nice plump feeling around this area. I'm gonna actually use another primer. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. It's literally like a pot of putty. That is exactly it. Oh, but it has a nice consistency actually. It's a lot softer and smoother than I thought. It's not like chunky. I was expecting it to be like Play-Doh putty. I wanted to take this and apply this right onto my pores. I was loving the NYX Poreless Primer so much, so I was excited to put another one from the drugstore to the test. I'm literally just pressing that right around my porous areas right here. I have to say I've been using the Biologique Recherche Masque Vivant. My blackheads and pores have been much more tamed feeling since I've been using that. I'm gonna take a little bit of the putty and also just put it right here on my chin where I have some pretty open, chilling pores too. I was not expecting that consistency. Like with the word putty, I was expecting Play-Doh. It's really nice and creamy. It's literally, it feels like you're applying a face cream. And it looks like it's totally smoothed at the pores. So I'm excited to see how this wears underneath foundation. For foundation, I wanted to try this NYX Born to Glow. I bought this a while ago. It's a naturally radiant foundation. Sounds like something right up my alley. I think I'm gonna start with the shade Vanilla. It's got a really nice consistency. It kind of feels like serum-y, like a serum foundation. I want to see how it blends in. Whoa, it's a lot. Wow. A lot of coverage here. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, I just want to see how it blends in with my hands. It feels like a serum-y tinted moisturizer, but it's got a lot more coverage than I was expecting. Like that's definitely like a full-on medium coverage here. Just because we did apply the poreless primer, I want to go over top with a sponge, and just on my forehead I find it a little bit easier for me to use a sponge instead of my fingers. And e.l.f. had this camo concealer sponge, and it's actually really nice. I put it under the water. It's a really soft sponge, and I'll just show you next to the Beauty Blender the difference. It's much more slim and thin, and it has two pointy edges. I like the butt of the Beauty Blender when I'm doing like blush, like cream blush, cream highlighter, stuff like that. But this shape I actually think is going to be so great for around the eye and just getting in the nook and crannies, like how Beauty Blender came out with their mini one. I like this. I like the potential. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm excited by this sponge. So I'm just going to dip it into the foundation and just use this to apply that on the rest of my skin. And then speaking of concealer, this is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I believe like long ago I have tried the camo concealer. I know it was like a super favorite amongst lots of people here on the interweb, but they came out with their hydrating version. So I was excited to try this. I've got light sand and light beige. I'm gonna just pull these out and see how the shades look. Oh, God. It's got an awful smell. This one's a little bit deep. I do have a tan on, so I'm hoping that once it blends out, it'll be okay. I'm just using this darker shade. This is light beige. And then I'm gonna use light sand just on the center of my face. Use this under the eyes to brighten. This one's a little bit more peachy. This smells like really off-putting. And then this camo concealer sponge is made to complement the camo concealer. So let's see how she blends out the concealer. Wow, looks really good. Okay, so this is the concealer all blended out. I don't know if I would call it hydrating necessarily. Like, I actually find that it has much more of a natural matte finish. And I think that that poreless primer did a really good job in this area. Like, my skin just has a really nice, smooth finish. It looks great. Okay, let's dive into some cream contour. I've had this NYX cream highlight and contour palette in my collection for a little while. I've been meaning to try it, so I want to dive into this today. I think overall, I really enjoyed the Wet n Wild contour stick the most. But let's give this one a whirl. Oh, it's really light. It's nice and light, which means it's going to be buildable. And already, like, sometimes I put on cream contour and I'm like, whoa, that is pigmented. But this is nice. It's a nice, more sheer formula, so you can get a really nice natural. I just said nice so many times in a row. But it just gives you a bit more control when building up your contour. It's not too, like, overwhelming and overpowering with pigment right at the start. I think I did mention this before, but when it comes to palettes like these, like, I would prefer just being able to buy a cream contour by itself. I just personally get no use out of these, like, other highlighting shades in the contour palette. Like, this highlight looks fine. Like, that looks like a nice cream highlight. It's just a little bit, like, silvery to me. But these ones, when they have, like, the actual highlighting shades, like, to go under your eyes, I'm like, I'm already using concealer for that. I just never reach for those shades in the palette, so I would much rather be able to buy the contour on its own. And that's totally fine. Like, obviously, other contouring products exist for that. That's just how I feel about palettes in general. But sometimes, like, if you find your perfect shade match, like, in the palette, I'd just love to be able to buy them outside of it and to have, like, the refill option for the packaging, you know? But otherwise, I really like this shade. This is really nice. This is in the shade Light. Shade Light. It's blending out super nicely. No problem. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that and put it down my nose as well. Let's go in and use some bronzer. I'm going to take this NYX matte bronzer here. This is in the shade Medium, MBB03. I'm just going to use that to warm up the complexion a little bit more. I'm just taking a brush and building that up along where we put the contour, just to add a bit more. And this bronzer is actually a really nice warm shade, so I think it'll complement the cool tonedness of the contour very well. For blush, I wanted to try these e.l.f. Primer Infused blushes. It says that it's a long-wearing blush infused with primer powder to ensure a full day of perfectly placed flush. I like the sounds of that, really, truly. I get a lot of comments from you guys actually saying that your blush, like, depending on the product, wears off throughout the day. I don't really experience that issue too much, but I think it's kind of cool that e.l.f. addressed that issue in these blushes. So I wanted to use this shade Always Rosy. Oh, that's really pretty. It's a really pretty shade. Cute, cute. Always Rosy. For highlight, I wanted to try this 24 karat gold highlighter. Look at the texture in there. Super pretty. Looks like a really nice, true champagne gold. It feels a little bit gritty, but when I'm blending it out on my hand, it doesn't have any, like, chunky glitter particles. That's a nice shade. That's a really nice shade. Pretty. I like that. Okay, then I wanted to take this NYX Dewy Finish Long Lasting Setting Spray. Let's give it a little test spritz first. Ooh, it's a really fine mist. Ooh, okay. Oh, that feels great. That feels really nice. That felt good. That had a nice spray. It didn't shoot out at me. Okay, let's move on to the eyes. I mentioned that I'd picked up these L'Oreal Age Perfect cream eyeshadows. I have these two here, Timeless Taupe and Vibrant Beige. I think these two, for my skin tone, are beautiful they look like beautiful everyday shadows. I'd also picked up the shade Dazzling White, which seemed a little bit chalky. We'll try this out on another day when I'm doing more of like an eyeshadow look, want to have a little bit of a brighter base, but I'm gonna leave this one out for now. That's for another day. For now, let's start with Timeless Taupe. I'm gonna try just taking it with my hands first and blending that out. Oh, that's pretty. Like if this is a MAC paint pot dupe, that'll be nice. I'd love to see more shades in this. That was so easy to blend out. So easy. I feel like I don't even need a brush with that at all. It's like the lightest little tint on my eyes. Like I would have loved, you know, like a rich chocolate brown in this formula, but it feels good. It's like not too overly creamy, so it's not like slipping and sliding all over your eyes, but it's also creamy enough that I'm like so easily patting this in with my finger. Yeah, really light little tint there. Let's go over with Vibrant Beige, which looks like a really nice, like shimmery gold. Let's just press that on top. Oh, that's pretty. It's really, oh, sorry. It's a really subtle glow. It's not like a chunky, glittery eyeshadow topper. Really natural, it's nice. Very natural, everyday little eye look here. I actually feel like I need to add a little bit of something. Just a little bit. So I'm gonna go back in with the NYX bronzer. I'm just gonna dust that into the crease to add a, ooh, that's deep. It looks like way deeper on the eyes than it did on my face. Amazing. Just doing a little blend here, adding a little bit of warmth. I'm also gonna use a little bit of that on the lower lash line. Another eyeshadow product I have is this e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Stick. I really love the packaging of these. It's super pretty. And this one's like a really nice, like glittery champagne gold. So I thought this would be fun to kind of just put on the inner corners. Yeah, that's really pretty. I haven't been doing like my little inner corner highlights all that often. Like it used to be an absolute must in any makeup look I did. And I haven't been doing it lately, but yeah. That's pretty. Let me just put it on the brow bone too. Is that too much? It's a little bit chunky for that. Like I'd probably sooner use this on the top of my eye. It's a little bit chunky for a brow bone highlight. Really nice little eyeshadow topper there. I'm on my last day of my eye drops. I know, I promise. It's almost done. It's a day away from me never talking about this again. But just because of that, I don't want to open up a new mascara. I have an older mascara. This is the Revlon So Fierce Big Bad Lash Mascara. I used this previously in a video, so I'm going to go ahead and use this. I don't want to open up a new mascara. So I'm just diving back into this. All right, so that's the mascara. Really nice. I forgot how lovely and fluttery this mascara was. So we went super tame, super natural on the eyes because I wanted to try out some of these new lipsticks from Milani. The packaging is so cute. Look at that. It's like little gems. It's really cute. I have the shades Crave and Voyeur. A nice bright, like it looks like a corally red and a nice bright pink. I'm gonna start first with the NYX Natural Lip Pencil and use this to line the lips. Oh, this is a really nice lip liner. I really like that color. That's super pretty. That is going in the everyday bin. Whoop. Oh my god, I totally thought it was gonna be like a traditional lipstick shape, but it's like this. It looks like a balm. Is it a lip balm? Oh no, that's pigmented. Wow, this is a very bright color. So that is Crave. Okay, and next, wow, look at these. Super pigmented, very creamy. I'm like leaning towards that lovely coral because that's what I'm like more comfortable with, but I think we should try the bright pink. Maybe it'll go nicely with the blue and the sweater. So I'm just gonna put this over top and then just take a little lip brush and blend that out. You know what? It's much more sheer. It is like more of a lip balm. When I swatched it on my hand, I was like, wow, that is pigmented. But when it's on the lips, it's actually, it's got a nice sheer feel. It's just like a super pigmented lip balm. I love that. It's like super bright, but it's subtle enough to be easily worn every day, you know? How pretty is that? Wow. Big fan. Have you guys tried these new lipsticks from Milani? Beautiful. And that, my friends, is the finished makeup look. I'm so happy about these Milani lip products. What a beautiful bright pigmented lip balm. Like, this is so perfect for spring and summer. I'm really excited about this corally shade as well. And honestly, this entire makeup look, like, it's so nice. I feel really, really glowy on the skin. There were a lot of amazing base products here. The only thing I'll say, and it's like not even a bad thing because it doesn't look bad on my skin, I think the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer's really nice. I just wouldn't call it a hydrating concealer. Like, it was just a really great general, like, natural looking concealer, but I do have a little bit of dryness, and there was a little bit of dryness under my eye. Like, I didn't even powder. Generally lately, I've been really, really relying on a powder when I'm done my makeup, especially if I'm using like glowy hydrating things, and I didn't need it. I feel like I don't need powder at all. So I wouldn't go so far as to say that it was a hydrating concealer, but everything else looks great. The e.l.f. Putty Primer, really cool product. I'm excited to keep playing with that. Totally forgot how nice that mascara was. Looks great. And yeah, that's the finished makeup, guys. I would love to know your guys' thoughts. Any comments down below? What do you think of this makeup look? And have you tried any of these products that I've shown here today? Are there any other products that you want me to try here on my channel? Let's have a good little chat in the comments below. Thank you so much as always for watching, everyone, and I will see you all very soon for a new video. Bye!